Hello, I'm Joshua Smith, and welcome to Captain Cinema's Entertainment Explosion. Today with me is my guest,
Hi, my name is Darby Chapman.
and today we're going to be talking about our top three favorite, our top two favorite Disney live-action reboots, and our most anticipated Disney live-action film that is coming out soon. So, Darby, we'll start with you. What is your number one?
So my number one live-action remake is Aladdin.
Yeah.
Aladdin was an absolutely fantastic representation of what a live-action remake can be.
Yep.
It had everything you'd need in a live-action. It had enough change from the original script to still be an entertaining and new movie while keeping, so much of the original intact.
Yep. I agree with that.
It's a great movie.
Honestly, so being a diehard Aladdin fan and just love Robin Williams, rest in peace.
Me too.
So when Robin did the genie, he brought his stand-up persona to the genie. Will Smith brought his Fresh Prince persona to the genie, which everybody was worried that he was going to try to rip off Robin Williams. And he even said in an interview when he got cast, he says, "I'm not here to do that." He says, "Robin was one in a million. You can't replace Robin." And that's true. You can't replace Robin.
No.
So the fact that he made that his own was perfect.
It was.
And Mina Massoud.
Oh,
Talk
I
about
love him.
ripping someone straight from the animation and putting him in live action.
Yes, because he's exactly what I pictured Aladdin as if he was supposed to be like a real person.
Yep.
It was the perfect casting, and he really came out of left field for me. I'd never seen him in anything until I saw him in Aladdin, and I was just so shocked by how well he was able to portray Aladdin. It was perfect. Especially when Aladdin goes from this street rat who's never had anything to this guy who's starting to have things. That weird switch that he has in the middle of the movie where he gets kind of cocky. He played it perfectly.
He did.
He showed I was this guy who had nothing and now I have something and I want to keep it.
The charisma.
It was beautiful. And all of the relationship between Aladdin and the genie was spectacular in this movie.
That whole joke with the jams.
Oh,
I
the
still laugh
jams.
at. I still like that.
I
so
watched
much.
it literally the other day and I laughed about the jams.
It was like, enough with the jams.
Enough with the jams.
Enough with the jams. I will say, now I also loved Naomi Scott as Jasmine. I thought her costumes, they actually gave her a lot of different wardrobe.
Gorgeous.
Beautiful. Every single one of them, top notch.
Yes.
I think my favorite was the one where she went to that, it was like a dance. It was a party.
Yeah, it was the party.
I love that dress. That was my favorite one.
The homage to the original dress.
Yes.
It was a gorgeous dress. It was a little bit more appropriate for where they were and what they were doing. It was gorgeous. She was gorgeous. I love Naomi Scott in it. I thought she was a great choice for Jasmine.
Yep.
I also kind of felt like it came out of left field with that casting. I wasn't really expecting that, and then it was Naomi Scott, and I was like, the girl from Lemonade Mouth.
Yep.
And she came in and she really gave it her all, and I loved it. And their relationship, honestly, their relationship, the way it built in the movie, I thought was excellent.
Honestly, they sounded, when they sung
A Whole New World.
Whole New World, thank you. I don't know why I was thinking of a whole different song. That chemistry between, I've never seen a more beautiful scene brought to life, other than the fact, which is what I'm going to say my number one is, which leads straight into Beauty and the Beast. Come on now.
Of course.
Dan Stevens and Emma Watson.
Oh.
That whole cast was phenomenal, but let me tell you one thing. I've never been more impressed with the change of, from animation to live action. They gave the Beast an actual story and a personality.
I loved it.
That was probably my biggest, thrill of that reboot was they gave him a character.
Yeah.
And of course, who doesn't love Emma Watson? Come on now, Harry Potter.
Of course.
Miss Hermione. But I will say that I was really impressed with them two, but that whole cast.
The whole cast was stunning.
Luke Evans as Gaston and Josh.
That was amazing.
Yes.
That was amazing. The Gaston and
LeFou's
dynamic was translated so perfectly into the live action. Josh Gad is one of my favorite actors. I'm going to say that. Olaf, hands down, he's got the same typecast, but it's so drastically different, and I think he's perfect every time.
Honestly, this might be the first time I've ever will admit this out loud, but I prefer their version of Gaston than the animated because I just love that whole dance scene that they do together.
No, yeah, it's gorgeous.
It really is.
I played so the first teaser that came out for Beauty and the Beast was actually that.
Yep.
I don't know if you remember that.
I do.
But it was that, and my friends got so fed up because I was playing it over and over again, and I was like, "Look at how amazing this
really is."
And everyone was like, "Darby,
I mean,
stop."
perfect cast. I mean, Ewan
It was.
McGregor, Ian McKellen as Lemire and Cogsworth.
Yeah.
And of course, we cannot forget Emma Thompson as Miss
Potts.
Mrs. Potts. I
Yeah.
don't know why that blanked on me. It was like it's in her name.
Yeah.
But I loved that movie. So now I have to know what your number 2 is.
My number 2 is Maleficent for sure. Maleficent was one of the most. It obviously changed the most.
Yes.
But I think that change was so welcome for me because actually, if I'm talking Disney princesses, Aurora, Sleeping Beauty, my least favorite.
Yeah.
Like
It was a welcome
I don't
change.
like that movie. I think it's boring.
Yep.
But the Maleficent movie, I didn't even watch it in theaters. I waited so long because Sleeping Beauty's story just felt so basic to me. And then I watched Maleficent and it changed everything. That movie, like I cried. I loved it so much. Angelina Jolie was literally the perfect casting.
Yeah, I agree.
I would argue that Angelina Jolie is one of the best castings Disney has ever done.
I agree to
Live
that.
action.
Yeah.
Ever.
Ever.
It was spectacular.
I mean, hands down, they couldn't have picked a better person to play that character. The fact that they gave her, like, this was a welcome change for a reboot. This
Yes.
is a good example of a movie that changed for the better.
For sure.
And I'll just throw this out there too. I want to know your opinion on this. So, obviously, stereotypical Disney princess thing, cursed, goes to sleep. I mean, Snow White did it too.
Yeah.
Kiss from a prince, wake him up. True Love's kiss in this movie
Yes.
was a mother's love. Even though that wasn't her like biological daughter, she raised her from a baby up, so she loved her.
Yeah.
And she felt bad that
She regretted it, yeah.
Love that change. That was a wonderful.
I did. I really loved that. I think, where they got that with Frozen, with Anna and Elsa, and I feel like it was just such a good change. I like the prince and the princess and the curse and all that stuff, but in this movie I feel like it really showed that sometimes, it doesn't have to always be what you think it's going to be.
That's true.
And I really liked that. I liked all of it with Maleficent. I just thought the costuming, the designing, it was all so gorgeous. The casting. Yeah.
Casting, she never skips a beat. Speaking of costumes, Colleen Atwood
Yeah.
did the costumes, and she never skips a beat.
No.
She always puts the minor details makes the difference.
It was beautiful.
And the headdress.
The headdress was amazing.
I agree. Honestly, villains are kind of one and done. They're one note, but Angelina Jolie brought a complexity to that character. You see why she went dark.
Yeah.
Honestly, I felt bad for her.
I felt so awful. I cried. I loved that movie with the change that you see in Stefan, the guy that she loved, and like the way that it portrayed that too, I thought was amazing because it also explains how this man could go from this kid who loved Maleficent to this guy who cuts her wings off.
Yeah.
Like
when men nowadays try to take a woman's voice, he basically took her voice.
He did. That's exactly what he did because Maleficent's wings were her escape. They were her freedom.
Yep.
And it shows that too. It shows how important they had been to her, especially when she loses them.
Oh God.
And it was just so gorgeous because it makes you feel like there's a reason that she was so upset. But there's also a reason that they didn't invite her to the christening, which is the whole point of the movie. Maleficent's the only person in the whole world that doesn't get invited to the christening. But now it makes sense because why would Stefan invite the person he was supposed to kill to his christening?
Yep. Oh God, I couldn't stand that character.
Stefan?
That was the king, right?
That was the king.
Yeah, could not stand.
That's
I was
fair.
so glad that he, got it at the end.
He got it at the end.
And speaking of flying, I'll just transition into my number 2. Of course, the live-action Dumbo, Tim Burton, which people seem to forget. He's the one who actually started off this whole Disney live-action with Alice in Wonderland. First $1 billion live-action Disney film.
Spectacular.
Love that movie. Johnny
Spectacular
Depp.
movie.
Johnny Depp.
Johnny Depp was great in that movie.
Yes, couldn't have. Honestly, the way that he explains it, and then he does this in the behind the scenes stuff. If you've ever seen it, he explains why he is the way he is. Because back in the day, hatters used to put what is that stuff? They lined it with the hats, and it drove them mad. That's where mad as a hatter comes from, and that's how he rationalized his characteristics for his Mad Hatter.
Did not know that.
Hilarious. I loved how he thought
so
of
interesting.
that. It is. I really would love to know what that stuff was called. I cannot think of it to save my life, but anyway. But Dumbo.
Dumbo.
Love Dumbo. Michael Keaton, Eva Green,
Spectacular.
Colin Farrell.
Yeah.
Top-notch cast.
It was a good cast.
Not just the circus scene alone.
Oh, the circus scene was amazing. They redid all of the rides at Disney World.
Really?
To change the Dumbo rides, because Dumbo used to be a single ride. Like there was one, it's just the spinning. It's not like it's a crazy ride. It's just the spinning Dumbos. But it was in the center of Fantasyland.
Okay.
They switched it. They made a whole new land. And the carnival is the center of it. They have these huge tents, and inside the tents they have this playground that all the kids, and it's all Dumbo themed.
I love that.
And there's like 2 Dumbo rides now that you get on. It's really interesting.
I'll be honest, I would be one of those suckers who would buy the big pink stuffed animal
No, that's okay.
elephant. Because that whole, even in live action,
Yeah.
that was so cool.
It was. I honestly didn't think that the Dumbo live action movie was going to be that good. I was really worried about it because, Dumbo is one of those, there was no human characters really, and so it just felt like, how are we going to translate this movie, especially because it's such like it's a childlike film, it's Dumbo. He's he's just a little kid. He's just,
His eyes.
and there's no talking in the original, and so it's just like, how are we going to make this movie? And I think they just did such a wonderful job.
I love the fact that they paid homage to the original animated film, like with Timothy the Mouse.
Yes.
You see Timothy. You can hear the music. You can hear, it's the beginning song of the old one. Was it Casey Jr., The Train?
So.
Yeah. But you can hear the music playing in the background when they first arrive to Dreamland.
Yeah.
Is the song that the Crows sing in the original.
Yeah.
You can hear it clear as day.
In the original.
Yeah. Classic.
Yeah.
But love Tim Burton. I thought that movie was phenomenal. It made me sad still to this day.
Well,
you
yeah.
can't baby of mine or baby mine or whatever the title of that song is, breaks your heart every time.
It does. That movie is such a caring movie, but it's so sad. That movie will break your heart, but it's just such a good movie. And I think Tim Burton did a great job with it.
Yeah.
And I was really worried about it, but I think he really brought it to life in a beautiful way.
Yeah, I will say that Burton has a unique style, but he's an artist, and he's an artist for a reason.
Yes.
Anytime I saw that circus, Dreamland, that was a painting.
It was amazing.
It was beautiful.
One of the best sets
Yes.
that I've seen in a live action. Like, so well translated.
Yes.
I thought it brought that, the childlike feeling to the movie that Dumbo has. Because Dumbo was that movie that I didn't watch it a lot as I grew up. But when I was a kid, repeat.
Yep.
It was so fun when I was a kid.
Yep.
I felt like that was there.
It was. All right, so we've talked about our 2 favorite Disney films that's already came out. Now let's talk about a future. We're going to start with you. What is your most anticipated live-action Disney movie that's on its way?
The Little Mermaid.
Of course.
For sure.
Of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yep.
You got the shirt for it and everything.
My spirit animal is Ursula.
Mine too. I'm Flotsam and Jetsam.
Yep.
I love The Little Mermaid. That was my favorite Disney princess growing up. I wanted to be a mermaid growing up. I love everything about The Little Mermaid.
Oh my God.
And as the cast announcements came out, I just got more and more excited.
Mm-hmm.
I never felt like there was a miss with the cast.
No.
Like Halle Berry, I think she's going to be Bailey. I said Halle Berry. Halle Bailey. She's going to be fantastic. She has those eyes and the face, and oh my gosh, I just think she's going to be spectacular. When I heard her sing for the first time the song "Part of Your World," I had chills. It sounded just like the original Ariel. I thought it was amazing. The whole cast, honestly, is going to be an all-star lineup.
Yes.
Like you've got Jacob Tremblay as Flounder. I think that's going to be a really interesting cast.
Yep.
Melissa McCarthy as Ursula. Spectacular casting.
Yes.
I could not honestly imagine anyone else as Ursula now that it has been
That's true.
cast.
That is
Genuinely. Like when it first came out, it was going to be her. I was like, that makes so much sense. And now it's like, I couldn't even think of anybody else that I would want to cast over Melissa McCarthy.
I don't know if you saw the Super Bowl commercial where she sings, but now I'm excited to hear her sing her song.
Oh, Poor Unfortunate Souls is going to be amazing.
It is.
And I'm really excited for Jonah King. I'm really excited. I've not seen him in anything yet, but in the trailer, he looked really Eric.
Yeah.
He looked really Prince Eric, and I thought that was going to be really good. Daveed Diggs as Sebastian,
of course,
will be great.
Hamilton.
Daveed Diggs is spectacular. He's an amazing singer. And, you know, Alan Menken came back, and he's been working on the score, which is so exciting because Menken comes up with some of the best Disney scores that I've ever heard.
Oh, absolutely.
And I feel like him working with Lin-Manuel Miranda is going to produce some really interesting scores. And I'm really excited for this song that they supposedly added because I do love Lin-Manuel Miranda's writing.
I will say, when they said who the director was, Rob Marshall, I'm a big fan of the movie Chicago.
Yeah,
huge.
Good movie.
And honestly, you couldn't have picked a better director, in my opinion,
no, I think
to do a musical.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm very excited. And there's rumors right now that Lin-Manuel is going to be the sous chef.
That's going to be fun.
I really hope he is.
Yeah.
Because the sous chef, it fits his personality so well, and I think you do so good in that.
If you was going to give Lin-Manuel Miranda a cameo, that's that cameo.
That's the cameo.
Yeah,
like, that's it.
That's it.
That has to be it.
And I'm a big fan of Javier Bardem, so him as King Triton
will be amazing.
I can't wait. I know normally he plays bad guys, but I will say when he plays like a softer character, and where King Triton is like a soft-spoken father, but he's stern sometimes, I'm curious to know. I'm more concerned about the beard.
Oh, yeah. That's a very long beard.
Yeah.
I don't know. I see Triton as a pretty harsh guy.
He is.
I'm not saying he doesn't have his soft side, because obviously he does, at the end. But, like, I think it's a great cast, because I feel like he can bring in, because the thing is, to Ariel, that is the villain.
Yep.
Ursula's not the villain at the beginning of Ariel's story.
That's true.
It is her father. It is King Triton.
Which is very interesting to know.
So I feel like that casting was great.
Yeah.
It was a great choice, because that way you are going to see through her eyes, this guy's the worst. He's the villain. Like, King Triton is the problem.
Like, why can't I do this?
Yeah. Like, I'm 16. I can do whatever I want.
Exactly. If I want to go to the surfers, I will do it.
I'm 21. I can't even cross state borders without telling my mom.
I will say, I don't know if they'll do it. I know they changed it, coming back to Aladdin. One of the scariest scenes in animation was that gigantic snake.
Oh my gosh, I kind of wish they'd done it in the live action.
I know, I would have probably peed my pants. But anyway, I wonder if they're going to make Melissa McCarthy gigantic.
I hope they do.
I think they will.
I think they will.
Yeah.
Because it's such a crucial scene. You know, that's the end when, although I will say, maybe not, because, the whole thing is they make her huge, and then Eric drives this ship into her to, kill her. And, they've been on this huge trend of kind of like making sure the princesses solve, their own.
Right.
So,
As they should.
Yeah, of course. But it could change. So I'm not sure. I am very curious, though.
Yeah.
Now that I'm thinking about that, I am very curious.
I'm sure it will be something spectacular.
Oh,
I'm sure it won't be
nonetheless.
like that. I guarantee instead of Eric doing something to Ursula, it's going to be Ariel doing something.
I would say so. But the movie itself, I'm so excited for because I just think, and also all the sisters got cast, and I love the variety. I love it. I just think it's amazing.
I don't know if you know this or not, but I read an article not long ago, but each of the sisters come from a different part, from the 7 Seas.
Yes, from the 7 Seas.
Love that idea.
That's like the whole thing.
I missed that in the animation. So when they said it and it was in live action, I was like, well, that does make
like
sense.
The Red Sea is Ariel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hilarious. I love that. I didn't even know that until, until you said it, but I thought this was a new idea for the live action. Hilarious.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
I will say, so that's your most anticipated
That is my most anticipated.
Mine is in the process of probably casting, which means I have plenty of time to shoot my ideas out there.
Of course.
So Guy Ritchie was hired, who directed the live-action Aladdin, is going to direct my most anticipated future film, Hercules.
Hercules is a great choice. Great choice.
Gospel music in that movie. Holy crap.
It's a beautiful movie. Danny DeVito wants to still be Phil.
Yeah, he should.
He said I want you all to make a Hercules live action movie while I still have time to play Phil again.
Yes. I'm going to just say this now. James Earl Jones got to voice Mufasa again.
Yeah.
Get Danny DeVito.
I mean, there's no one else. I
Yeah.
can't think. Like, I mean, I understand like the whole Robin Williams, like Will Smith thing that we
Yep.
talked about, but I still feel like Phil can only be played by Danny
By
DeVito.
Danny DeVito.
Like he just works so perfectly, and I can't think of anyone in Hollywood right now who reminds me anything.
No one.
Like
I
Phil.
I actually don't even want to think about it because I
No.
refuse to cast anybody else.
It
out
better
of
be Danny DeVito.
It has to. I feel like fans would eat that movie alive.
If it wasn't, I
if
do
it
agree.
wasn't, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Now I will say, and forgive me, even though I went on this rant of this is my favorite movie, I'm trying to remember her name.
Meg.
Meg. Why did
Megara.
that? I honestly don't know why that slipped my mind. That was a
It
simple
happens.
name,
It
Meg.
happens.
But there's only one person who's perfect for that role.
Okay, who?
Zendaya. Come on. You want someone who is feisty, who can stand on her own 2 feet. Meg was like, at one point, she wasn't a damsel in distress whatsoever.
Yeah, that's the whole point. Yeah.
I feel like Zendaya can pull that off, especially after you've seen her in the Spider-Man movies. That's her character, and she's A, gorgeous,
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
B, a great actress. I mean,
She is a great actress.
and I don't know. Every time I think of Meg, I think of Zendaya for some reason. Who would you cast?
I really don't know who I'd cast. Zendaya was not on there though. That's very
Really?
interesting. That's a very interesting choice. I do like Zendaya, and I like her attitude, especially if you look at MJ.
Yep.
Yeah, from Spider-Man. I feel like that definitely plays in very well. I don't know though. I'd never thought of Zendaya as Meg. I'm not sure who I'd cast. I know a lot of people, but I really think she's too old. Liz Gillies. A lot of people really
Yeah.
wanted her to play, and I
Yeah.
think if they'd made it years ago, it would have been great. But I think she's just a little too old now.
I will say, in my mind,
Mm-hmm.
there's one person other than Meg, but I was always a huge Hades fan.
I love Hades.
I love a smartass. I don't know why.
No, I love Hades. He was always one of my favorite characters.
Yeah,
I find him so hilarious. And that was also the thing, was that he was this villain. He's one of the funniest villains.
he is
Like, by far, one of the funniest
top
villains.
notch. I can't think of anybody but Robert Downey Jr. in that role.
That is really interesting, actually.
Yeah,
I do like that. I don't
Yeah.
think they'd ever get him.
no.
But that is
No, they
so very
wouldn't.
interesting. Have you seen Descendants,
Yes,
the Disney movies? I honestly, oh gosh, what is that actor's name?
Cheyenne, I think.
Yes.
Cheyenne
I actually
Jackson.
really like him in that role.
Yeah, he did great. You need someone who is sassy, a smart aleck, but I feel like when it comes to Disney movies, they have to go with a huge name actor or actress.
Mm-hmm.
And Robert Downey would be ideal. I mean, for God's sakes, the Russo brothers is producing this movie,
That's true. They are.
and they have a relationship with Robert. So
They do. That's true.
if they got him, I swear to God, that would be the selling of the tickets right there. Robert
I mean,
Downey
for
Jr.
sure. That is very interesting. I'd never thought of that casting before, but I do like it. I love Hades.
Yes.
Hades is one of my favorite. He's one of my favorites.
I would also cast Daniel Craig as Zeus.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a really good casting for
Yep.
sure.
Yep.
I do like that.
Yep. And because obviously these would have to be CG characters, Pain and Panic.
Comedians. You'd have to go
Well,
comedians.
brace yourself. I've thought of
Okay.
this really hard too.
Okay.
Bill Hader and Seth MacFarlane.
Ooh.
Pain and Panic.
Ooh, I like that. That would be really good.
Hilarious. You put those two together in anything. Separately, they're hilarious.
Separately, yeah.
The dynamic between that, like, frenemy, like, oh my God, I can only imagine.
It would be actually. That's great. That is a great casting. I love that.
Yeah.
No, that really is, because Pain and Panic, honestly, are just, they're hilarious.
Yeah.
They're two little guys just doing whatever Hades says and
Well,
making a lot of mistakes.
lot of mistakes.
But they're just
Well,
so cute.
They are. Isn't that weird that they're adorable, but they're stupid?
Little demons.
Little demons.
They're literally
Little
demons,
demons.
and they are adorable.
Yep. I will say, next to who they cast as Hercules and Hades, the Muses
Yeah.
has to be, like, you have to have either, you're going to have to find unknown actresses who can sing.
Yeah, I think that's what I think they're gonna do. I do think they're gonna go hardcore unknown, some like really underground women.
Yep.
I think that's what they're gonna do. But
If they don't, I really want Amber Riley to play one of the Muses.
I do love the idea of Amber Riley playing music.
I mean,
Her in Glee.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was about ready to say she was my favorite character in Glee, and obviously on social media she has spoke
Oh, yeah.
Like, she wants to do it. Like,
She
Disney
would
cast
love
her.
it.
Yes, knock it right out of the park.
I think she'd be an amazing cast too, because like she's really got that vibe, and she's got the sound. Oh,
Yep.
she's got the sound for sure.
Yep.
And like, I think she has a strong chance of getting cast as a Muse, mostly just because there's a lot of people's support for her getting it, and she's very publicly spoken about how she would love to do it. So I think she has a chance of getting cast.
Oh, I do too. And I think Disney would like drop the ball if they didn't cast her.
Yeah, that's fair.
It'd be the same as if they didn't cast her and they didn't cast Beyonce as the lead Muse. I'd cast her in a heartbeat. She would be the first person I'd pick up the phone like, I will pay anything.
I will pay anything.
It's the same thing with Robert. I would give you my soul.
I will give you anything.
Hades,
that you
I'd
need.
give you my soul. Just be
I
honest
will
with
tell you whatever you need to hear. Just please.
You don't have
please
to sing.
do this.
That's another thing. Hades doesn't even have to sing.
No, Hades doesn't have to sing. And Hades is just, the comedic timing of Hades is also just spectacular. And Robert Downey Jr. has that.
He does.
He definitely does. I don't know who else, though, I would want in that role, because Hades is such a particular character.
He is.
Like, you'd have to find the perfect person.
You do. And honestly, I feel like if you don't cast someone who's a huge name who could pull off that role, you need an actor who is relevant who can still pull off that role.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have to be necessarily an A-list actor, but it has to have someone that personality just fits.
I definitely don't think you can pull out someone like they did, like they're doing The Little Mermaid with Jonah King.
Exactly.
Like, you can't pull out like that with Hades.
No.
You could probably do it with like a Hercules.
Yeah.
Like a Mina Massoud. Like, you could probably pull out like a pretty random actor.
Yeah, I'm excited to find out whoever they cast as Hercules.
Me too. I feel like that'll be very interesting, because I genuinely no clue who's going to play Hercules. And also, are they going to like, this sounds weird, but are they going to like CGI?
Okay, so
Or are they really going to find somebody?
This is how I would do it.
That
I would
big?
pull the Tom Hanks Castaway thing. I would have him get skinny, shoot those scenes, beef him up, and then shoot the rest of it.
Hercules is a big dude.
He is.
I just feel like that's not.
I don't know. The Rock played him at one point, but then again, it is The Rock. So
Actually, cast The Rock as Hercules.
let's just cast The Rock as Hercules.
Cast The Rock as Hercules. Move on.
Move on. I think a lot of people would dig the loincloth. I'm pretty sure it would go over
Oh,
very
yeah.
well.
With The Rock.
Yep.
Love that man.
Yep. But I will say thank you for talking Disney with me.
Of
We love Disney.
We do. We love
We do.
Disney.
And thank you, Miss Darby, for being a part of this show. And
Of course.
I will see you next time.